Have you ever wondered why quitting porn is so hard, even when you know it's holding you back? You know, it's not a lack of discipline. It's not a lack of willpower. It's not a lack of not knowing what to do. Brother, I need to tell you, it's because of your brain. Science now shows us that porn rewires your brain's reward system, keeping you stuck in a cycle that feels impossible to escape. But the good news here today, gentlemen, is your brain can be rewired for freedom. So in today's episode of The Rebuilt Man, we're diving into the science behind porn and how it affects your brain, sharing 5 actionable tips to help you reboot, rewire it, and break free for good. Gentlemen, welcome to the Rebuilt Man podcast. My name is Coach Frank Rich, founder of Rebuilt Recovery, and it is our mission to help men become better men by quitting porn and rebuilding their life. So whether you're just at the beginning of addressing this habit or looking for new insights into your journey, today's episode is looking into the latest research. We're going to examine how porn rewires that brain's reward pathway. And like I said, share 5 actionable tips to help you rewire it in healthier ways. Guys, we need to understand the role that pornography is playing in controlling our life. We need to understand the impact that it's having on us. And just as the brain can be negatively wired by porn, we can use all the same science to rewire it through intentional and healthier ways. Let's first start by looking how porn negatively impacts our brain. Porn creates a powerful dopamine rush that overloads the brain's reward system. We're talking about this concept known as dopamine overload. Regular exposure to porn leads to desensitization, making it harder to experience pleasure from normal activities. We're talking about everyday walks. We're talking about the pursuit of goals. We're talking about creating meaning and purpose in our lives. Repeated use of pornography creates new neural pathways. We're talking about altered brain connections that reinforce this habit, which makes it incredibly hard to stop. Now, what happens after long-term effects is you're going to experience a reduction in motivation, a reduction in your ability to focus, lower satisfaction in relationships. Now, you may be realizing that all of this is already happening in your life. So how do you begin to take control? How do you get back to a healthy brain? We got to first start by understanding the power of neuroplasticity. This is the brain's ability to change through experience. New, healthier pathways in the brain can be replaced or can replace the old ones. Now, this is possible, but it's got to be done consistently and intentionally with new habits, new behaviors over time. And I told you that I was going to share with you 5 practical tips. But before I get into these 5, I want to invite you into our brand new free school community. Guys, we've launched a community of men all across the world that are committed to greatness. They're committed to overcoming their addiction. And you can join us for free to get access to some of our best trainings, to get access to incredible resources to help you unlock freedom in your life. If you visit school.com, skool.com/the rebuilt man, or click the link down there in the show notes below, we'll invite you into the community and you can begin to build your life without porn. But 5 ways to rewire your brain for freedom from pornography. Number 1 is you have to limit your triggers and begin to manage your cravings. You can only limit the triggers though by knowing what they are. You got to identify your emotional states, your mental states, the times of the day when you're most susceptible and triggered to pornography. And then begin limiting some of these things in your life. This is where using certain devices and web blockers and accountability softwares can come into play. It's not the end all be all, but it can be a tool in a much bigger plan for you. Begin to limit your screen time. Begin to be intentional about your time away from your phone. Is the first thing that you grab anytime you feel discomfort your phone? Begin to recognize that. Begin to set periods of your day that you call your no phone zones. This will be very powerful in giving you back control of your mental space and capacity. Tip number 2 here to begin to rewire your brain is begin to practice mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness will bring you in tune with your body and in tune with your thoughts so that you can recognize some of these triggering states that you are in. Mindfulness and meditation will give you the skill set and ability to auto-regulate your nervous system. So instead of needing porn to de-stress you, use things like mindfulness practices, meditation practices, journaling practices to learn to calm and regulate your nervous system. Things like breathing, cold water immersion therapy, sauna practices, all can be powerful in bringing you closer and more in tune with your mind and your body. Number 3 here, you want to rewire your brain. You got to start setting small, actionable goals. Your reward center in your brain is designed to release dopamine when you take small incremental steps in the direction of larger goals that you set for yourself. What this will do is this will reinforce the positive emotion tied to those behaviors, which will motivate you and compel you to continue to want to go down those paths. Now, pornography has hijacked that system, so it's very easy to hit the big red button of porn and get this rush of emotions. But having small daily goals that you set for yourself and check those boxes off when you take those steps is one of the first steps that we must take in rewiring that system in our brain. Every small victory towards that expands your capacity for self-control and will reinforce these new healthy habits and behaviors over time. Number 4 here is you got to step out of your comfort zone and explore things, new hobbies, new interests, new endeavors that stimulate your brain, that force you to learn new skills and pursue new hobbies. The brain is there to learn. The brain is there to adapt, and it can only adapt when it's exposed to new environments. If every day of your life looks exactly the same, there's a high probability that you're living in a hypnotic trance. You're probably not forcing your brain to grow, to expand. You got to stimulate it. And you stimulate it by involving yourself and engaging yourself in new activities and new hobbies. And then the 5th and final tip here is get in a support system. Get in a community of men. They're going to make it easier for you to stay on track. The feelings and emotions when you have people cheering for you, for your progress, will play a massive role in creating new neural connections. Porn is an intimacy disorder. We seek it out when we're alone and when we're isolated. We want to break that chain. We got to get connected to others that want to see us win this fight. So 5 tips here to begin to rewire your brain. Begin to limit your triggers and manage your cravings. Begin to practice mindfulness and meditation. Set small, daily, actionable, achievable goals. Begin to engage in new, rewarding activities. And get in a community and a support system to help you in this journey. Now know that this process will take time. Science tells us that to create new habits in our brain is anywhere from 63 to 180 days. So it's going to be different for every single one of us. So don't get discouraged if it doesn't feel like you've changed overnight, because that will not be the case. Stay patient, trust the process, focus on small incremental actions day over day, and in time you will get back control of your life. But remember here, freedom from pornography is not just about the quitting of porn. It's about regaining control of your mind, rewriting your desires, and building a life of purpose, meaning, and passion that fills you up. And if you're looking for a community that will support you in doing that, like I said, join us in our school community, SKOOL.com/The Rebuilt Man. It's linked down there in the show notes below. But your host, Coach Frank Rich at The Rebuilt Man. We love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.